show. Crowd just filling up. There are problems on the roads, Wayne, which means it's not full as yet. Plenty of tickets being sold for tonight. Is that going to affect play on stage at all, do you think?
It might suit Kyle Anderson right now. I don't know about Steve because he loves a bit of an atmosphere, but he looks confident, Kyle, and the Aussie mentality. They don't normally just turn up to take part. He wants to compete.
It's quite a tasty little section of the draw, this, isn't it?
It is, and to be honest, that they really all are. And his reward, whoever wins this game, will be James Wade.
There's no such thing as a bad Australian sportsman, I don't think, is there? They all have that aggression about them.
Yeah, as I said, that he wants to win. Everyone up there wants to win, but there's something about the Aussies that they've got that grit and determination to get the job done.
OK, Rod Harrington and Stuart Pike in commentary.
Looking forward to this. And Kyle Anderson, very confident, quietly spoken,
first leg, Steve, to
believing in his own ability.
Game on.
Steve Beaton has an awful record at the PDC World Championship. May be vulnerable in the first round. We shall see.
60.
But the young man from Perth, and what a moment for him, winning the Oceanic Masters, and tough field he came through to earn his spot. But there's no
36.
doubt that the nerves will play a part early on. Never experienced anything like this.
Well, it's going to be a nervy for both players, to be quite honest.
93.
Mm.
For Steve Beaton, in his interview there, he said how inconsistent he was, and he's got to put that right. And he said, you know, he beat Barney, and what a game that was. And then just didn't turn up in the following game in the Tour Players Championship.
58.
That's something he's got to put right if he's going to make the later stages of these big tournaments, especially this one. But earlier on, Stu, I was watching this guy play and having a practice downstairs, and he had a
26.
good solid throw. You know, a sort of throw we say will stand up under pressure on that big stage.
Yeah, arrived in the UK a couple of weeks ago with his fellow Aussie Shane
58.
Titchevich, who performed really well. Lost to Dave Chisnall 3-0, but that really doesn't tell the whole tale. But that tells a story as Steve Beaton hits the first in the first leg, and that will settle him down. Yeah, speaking to Beaton only half an hour ago, no matter how much experience he has, he still
100.
gets the butterflies, the adrenaline's pumping.
I think they all do. There's no question about that. But the first big score of the match
90.
was the maximum from Steve Beaton. So he's won 180, no tons or 140s yet. But he's on a nice little shot, 52 when he returns. 2 darts, clear at a double, just to put that first leg on the board. And certainly
100.
that just eases you into the game.
52.
So double 16 to win the opening
Charge,
leg. Well, that was
first.
good enough,
Stevie.
wasn't it? He'd settle for that any day of the
Second
week.
leg, Carl to throw first.
Only 6
Game on.
matches won in 12 World Championships in the PDC. Such is his wretched record
140.
at the Circus Tavern, and of course now at the Ali Pali. Steve Beaton, a wrong he said that he wants to right. We shall see.
100.
Well, he's been around a long time, Steve. And there we have the superheroes are in. We're going to have a few heroes on that stage tonight as well. I think we're in for a cracking
57.
night of darts. I mean, some of the darts last night were exceptional. The Mark Webster in the game we commentated last on. John Bowles beating Jamie Cave, and it doesn't get much better than that in a
96.
first round. And I think we're going to have... Well, there's Steve Beaton's throw. Look, you know, when we talk about the basic, keep the head dead still, a good arm release, and it doesn't come much
100.
better.
But a solid throw as well, Kyle Anderson. And once he settles down, I'm sure he will believe that he can cause a big upset. Haven't really had a major upset. So we've lost Jamie Cave and Wayne Jones and Andy Smith in the lower half, or the lower scale of our 32 seeds.
123.
No really big upset so far. Will we see one tonight?
Well, we could
41.
well. The standard of play
Well,
now.
we require 81.
Well, Anderson, you kind of feel he may get 6 darts from 181, from 81, but he's certainly going to go the bullseye route. He's got to go. You mustn't give someone like Steve Beaton. Well, that's the bullseye for this leg.
56.
Well, it's a big shot, Stu, the 164. Beaton normally goes for the treble 20. Some people go for the 19s. Well, Anderson's going to come back for this second leg.
44. Kyle, you
Good leg
require
as well
25.
from the Australian. Can he hit the all-important double just to settle him down in this opening set? Double 8. Nicely
In
done.
charge in a second leg.
Really well
Kyle
done,
Anderson.
Kyle Anderson.
Selects the to throw first.
It's around about 20 past 3 in the morning in Perth,
140.
Australia. And his dad, Norman Mundale, brother Bo, all up watching live as he makes his big
60.
debut, his big bow on the world dart stage.
81.
Do you know, Anderson nearly beat Phil Taylor in August as well. Taylor went out to Australia for 3 weeks on a promotional tour, and in one of the tour events in Australia,
57.
the same weekend that Anderson hit a 9-darter in competition, he lost 6-5 to Taylor. That's
55.
how good he is.
Well, he wouldn't be here if he weren't a real player, and certainly Wayne mentioned it, the Aussies, when they come over, they don't come over just to take part, they come over to do something and cause some
96.
damage. And certainly Steve Beaton, what he doesn't want to do is let Kyle get in front of him and get a bit more confident. Steve's got to just keep, you know, putting the hammer
65.
down and keeping in front of him and put him under pressure. You know, you've got to ask the questions of your opponent.
58. Stevie require 160.
You know, the first 2 legs very convincingly won on throw. Looks like this one should be 2.
58.
Well, a big score here, a 140 may give him a dart at the bullseye when he returns. If Steve don't take the 1 out, 2 out, and that's what you've got to look at. Even the ton
100.
may give him a dart at the
Stevie
bullseye.
require
Important.
102.
102 here for Steve Beaton. Well, he's not going to check it out.
48.
That's a big miss from
Well, you
Stevie
require
Beaton. So now
130.
2 darts at that treble 20 to give him 1 dart at the bullseye.
Bullseye!
93. Stevie require 54.
So tops for 2-1. Pressure here for Beaton.
34.
No, and there was.
Kyle,
But
you
he was
require
way off with
37.
both, wasn't he, Rod?
He was a long way off there. I mean, let's give Anderson a big chance here to steal the throw. It's a little Christmas present for him. Now double 8, he hit this in the leg he won, and he's hit it again. And a bit of emotion there from Kyle Anderson. Steve Beaton will be kicking himself there this early in the game to give a leg up that easy.
Game on.
He's pretty bad for Steve Beaton. The averages are not brilliant, but Kyle Anderson's not going to worry about that. Holds his throw, and he's going to be 1 set up.
Yeah, back holding his
39.
nerve as well at this stage. He's broken the throw. We mentioned Steve Beaton's awful record. 15 years since he
46.
reached a World Championship quarter-final. As we say, only ever won 6 games in the PDC on the big stage at the Worlds. Puzzling, isn't it?
100.
John Part still in the tournament against Terry Jenkins in round 2. And I tell you what, the
100.
second round is shaping up to be, I think, the best we've ever had.
No question about that. We're going to have a lot of big names going home after that second round.
100.
If Steve Beaton doesn't wake up here, he could be going home. I mean, it's Kyle Anderson. Well, there's 2 in for Steve.
140.
A couple of 140s on the trot. One of them is not going to be enough. Anderson may get 9 darts from this 262. Just switches over the 18s to leave the 170, which he hasn't done. So that's a
41.
bit of a let-off for Steve.
Well, he may well have lost the darts here. Can Beaton cash in?
45.
Wow. Even the most experienced suffer. And Steve Beaton, 1996 when he won that
Steve
World
require
Championship.
170.
That was brilliant pressure, though.
I was just about to say, you know, whatever you do, you know, don't mess around. Well, a
150.
brilliant switch there, but when he hit the one, I
Well,
thought,
you require
you know, the
121.
170, it looks good, but If you're not going to take it out, set it up perfectly. We see John Bowles take out a brilliant 1-2-1 last night against Jamie Caven. Now, and wants the bullseye. This would be for the set. Just checks himself just to make sure that it's the bullseye he wants.
He's had 3 attempts at the ball in this opening set. That's the closest he's come. Great marker from Beaton. Well, that had to go in, didn't it? So one missed at the ball for the set from Kyle Anderson. How important could that prove to be?
Now, one dart changes the whole perspective of a game, and certainly the bullseye miss from Kyle Anderson. And now Steve Beaton. Do you know what I think with Steve Beaton's throws sometimes still? I look at a lot of players, they just get a little bit too quick. You know, if you're picking your dart up as too quick, you're not getting the same position every time. And I just think that extra, what
60.
Barney's done is just slowed his throw down, whether he believes it or not. Just that odd split second. It just makes you more accurate, more deliberate.
100.
You know, that's a little bit slower there from Steve Beaton as we have it. I mean, that's a good, solid throw.
100.
It's not bad either. He has a good action, doesn't he? He's aggressive on the darts as well. Well, experience is certainly winning the day in this first set. A second maximum. Perfect timing. This isn't bad either.
140. Stevie require 121.
Well, 6 darts Steve Beaton's got, and I was going to say again, don't miss the big numbers. And the first thing he did is misses,
85.
but he cleans it up pretty quick. Leaves him 36. Now, if I was Anderson, I'm thinking, yeah, 36, great double. The 9s is a bad switch. I'll put some pressure on. Hopefully, Steve Beaton will go inside the 18s, and I may come back to the board. Steve Beaton has got to be totally committed to this double 18.
Well, mile off.
18.
That's 3 missed darts for the set.
133.
Is there a chance for the Australian qualifier? No. So Beaton will return.
41.
He's still got to get the job done, hasn't he?
It's not the best of doubles, but that's a perfect guide. Oh, and I said it's a bad double.
10.
He's lucky that Kyle Anderson has not left himself on a better shot, but the 92, he's got to look at that 25 or bullseye with the first dart, just taking his time. Looks nice and composed, he does, Stu, doesn't he?
15 scored, so 77 left, treble 19, probably. Double 10 for the set against 72. The former world champion on the wire. Well, that's a great attempt.
8.
That could be. Well, let's see what Steve Beaton can do here. Finally wins the set. He got away with one.
Steve Beaton.
He got away with 2 or 3.